it is very important that you understand who yourself is. So in order to be able to reshape the environment consistent with your self-interest, you've got to know what you're interested in. And you've got to know what yourself really is all about. We're living in an era when the dilemma of somehow understanding and identifying what our self really is has become a perplexing question. It used to be a time that you didn't have to convince black people they were black. It has now become an option. People can select to be black. Maybe I'll be black. Maybe I'll be Republican. Maybe I'll be Democrat. Maybe I'll be an immigrant. Maybe I'll be this or that. Because they didn't have a choice. We were in a reality that forced us to know, you black. Whether you like it or not, you black. The realities of your world you're living in have defined that for you. So there was no confusion. People may not have known, as Frances Walton spent all of her career trying to help people know the forces that were making us, that were creating those problems, that somehow white supremacy doctrine that was making it painful for us to be that. But we knew we were black. On the plantations, we knew we were black. Being lynched, we knew we were black. Post-slavery, we knew we were black. And then, lo and behold, we got this black man in the White House, and we certainly had a post-racial reality. We suddenly felt that blackness was something that one may or may not choose to be because America was bigger than color. We were in a world that was bigger than color. Some of us were so intelligent that we'd already gotten to that point. And in our intelligence, we thought we'd already surpassed these possibilities of race, and we didn't want to deal with this racial thing and this preoccupation with race. Who needs to be bothered with race? I am a graduate of Harvard. I went to Yale. I've got a PhD. I've got an MD. I've got an LLD. I got a DD, double D, UD, BA, MA, I've got that. I've got the other. I live in this part of town. I got 2 Cadillacs. I got 3 Cadillacs. I own 6 banks. You own 12 banks. That somehow we'd already had crazy people who had transcended race, but they were few and far between. But suddenly with this election of this person who we all could identify as at least being identifiably black, we were able to somehow get a massive identification with this idea that we've come into a post-racial reality, and the fact now that those of us who are here represent a minority that really think that race still is an issue. Because the vast majority of our people really don't see that race is still an issue now. We've now gone beyond race. Maybe sexual identity is more of an issue. Maybe political economics is more of an issue. But not race. We're beyond that. We've conquered that idea. As I listened to the celebration of the 50 years after the March on Washington, people increasingly were saying the civil rights dream has been realized. We've realized the dream. We've somehow been able to walk hand in hand in Georgia and red clay and all kinds of things and marry anybody you want to upside down and red clay hills and all. The dream has been realized. So it's hard to even imagine. Some of it, the younger people here in high school and in college, you somehow have to say, why do you need a Black Studies program? Why do you need to have African American studies? Why do you need to have a Black psychologist? Why do you need a Black psychiatrist? Why do you need a Black lawyer? You don't need that. You can now be a part of the white group. So you don't need that stuff anymore. But you are wise enough to understand that yourself is still something that needs to be understood. So understanding self then is a major crisis. It's a major issue. So a part of this whole process of understanding what willpower is engaging in a way to be able to effectively define what our self is. Now, this is nothing new. The very beginning, the earliest dictum that defines education goes back to ancient Kemet, where the first definition of education was know thyself. That was the first definition of education. So the implementation of the process of developing this thing of self-interest was laid out in the dictum written across the portals of the entrance into the temples of ancient Kemet, where they said, know thyself. Because self-knowledge is the foundation of what education really is all about. And that, of course, leads to this empowerment that we are talking about.